They say history can be very beautiful and at the same time very painful. Today I present you a photo within a photo, the great photo of the NFD leaders, the people who favored this NFD region to join Somalia when Kenya was getting independence from the British colony in 1963. But this photo was taken on the eve of the second Lancaster House conference that was held in London. And the leaders in attendance, my Somali people will be familiar, my Rendile and Borana people will be familiar with this. The seated row from the right is Guyo Jatani, Haj Muhammad Muhammad, Hadi Haj Ali. The fourth one is Yusuf Haj Abdi. He is late Senator Yusuf Haji's dad and the grandfather to the current Director for National Intelligence, Nurdin Haji. The fifth is Maalim Muhammad in Istanbul. I think this name looks familiar from Deko in Istanbul or something like that. The great guy. Adan Jiro Musa, my people from Wajir, you know the old man, he was very prominent. Muhammad Farah on the seventh. Standing from the right, Alex Kolkole from the Rendile tribe. Abdilatif Aya, he was a member of Nairobi-based Somali Independent Union. And then the next one was my grandfather Gal Madido. After that is Hilole Dube Guyo, Abdirashid Khalif, Muhammad Yusuf, who was the head of Somali Independent Union. And speaking from my perspective is my grandfather was assassinated in 1963, allegedly based on many accounts, because some accounts were saying he was killed by a British planned rebel group who did not want NFD to join Somalia, because back then there was a war between East and the West, the communist and the capitalist. Others were saying there were some rebel groups, specifically the people who were called Shifta, who assassinated him and Daudi Dabaso Abera. My grandfather, because of his friends, these people in the picture, all these Somali people, actually, before I reach here, back then, the people who really influenced a lot of, Borana communities to join and convert to Islam were the Somali community, whom even my grandfather at that time, he was greatly convinced to really uptake the religion and practice it and really adapt it, making him the first Boran to go to Hajj in 1955. That is a bit of history for you. And another interesting fact is during those times, the Borana community and the Somali were so friendly. There was a time the Somalis sheikhs were deployed in the Waso region, the Marsabit region, where my grandfather was the leader for them to spread the religion of Islam, Hafidul Quran, and to teach Islam. And that's how the great people like the late Sheikh Abdel Nasir, who was the Imam of Jamia Mosque, who came all the way from the Somali region and to Waso to spread Islam. And in the process, he got married to my aunt. And this is very beautiful, guys, because the old man, also my grandfather Galmadido, after his first wife died, he married the second wife, who was a Somali, actually from Garissa. If you go to Garissa, you will be able to know which family he married from, but she died even before we were born. And this is the beautiful history. This was the time they famously called the Northeastern People's Progressive Party, the NPP, was favoring to join the Greater Somalia at the expense of even a push by the Kenyan government not to accept the idea, even despite a referendum which was held in 1962, which 99% of the people in the region favored to join the Greater Somalia. So whatever you see on social media now, the beef between the Borana, the Somali, and the Oromo, guys, our great-great-grandfathers lived together in harmony. These guys loved one another. They had a common sense of unity. They had a common sense of dignity to fight for their people. And they had something in them that was pushing for this community to be scaled to the greater heights. So here ends the story of a photo within a photo. Share with everyone. I know my Somali people will pick these up. Some of my friends were really passionate about this, and I had to bring the history into this. And so that is it for the today. Thank you so much.